Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. What up, though?
What it is?
What's up? Oh yeah. Hello. Come on in the room. Come on in the room.
What's up?
Hey. Come on in. Welcome. Welcome. Good evening. It's time to get it started. Let's get it started. Okay. I'm done. Welcome to the Key and Kai Exchange.
Hey,
Come on
guys.
in. I hope that you all are ready to engage. We're back.
Hey guys.
We're back. We're gonna wait for a few 2 minutes to allow some other people to get hip, to tune in. Hi, Sister Barbara, First Lady Barbara.
Hi.
Welcome to the Key and Kai Exchange. Welcome. Come on in. We have about 1 minute left and we're going to begin. Welcome to the Key and Kai Exchange. We're going to do our disclaimer and our house rules and get it started. All right. Yes, 1 more minute. Come on in. Tell your friends to come on in.
Share the video.
Share. If you care, make sure you share.
Oh.
Oh, thanks, Gabby. Welcome. All right.
Hey, Gabby.
Welcome to the Key and Kai Exchange. Tonight we are talking about expectations in relationships. Expectations in relationships. What do you expect, or what should you expect? Hello.
Hi.
Welcome on Instagram. So yes, we are going to talk about expectations in relationships. What do you expect, or what should you respect in a relationship? So I am going to start with the disclaimer. We don't claim to know everything. We don't have all the answers, but we will do our best to answer any questions that you may have. We want to respect one another. We are streaming live from Facebook and Instagram. So we want to be respectful of all questions or comments that is presented on this evening. And we want to give everybody the same respect that we expect to receive. There is no criticism, no negative criticism here. We welcome everybody in. We invite you all in to, again, join us in this conversation. That is what we are here for, is just to chop it up, just to powwow and kick it about different topics. So please, ma'am, please, sir, again, come on in and feel free to comment or inbox or however you see fit. And please don't forget to like and comment and follow us on YouTube at The Key and Kai Exchange. And again, that's on YouTube, The Key and Kai Exchange. If you have not gone over to YouTube, please do so. And make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can be notified when we upload new videos, which is done weekly. All right. So with that being said, Miss Kyra, we're going to start by asking, what do you expect in a relationship?
Well, first I would like to say, starting out when I first started like dating, which I was so young, I was still in high school, but when I called myself having a boyfriend, I view a relationship as like, I don't know, I guess I didn't know how serious a relationship was. So in my mind, it was just, you know, seeing your partner and spending time and saying I love you, talking on the phone, texting. But as I got older and experienced like a real relationship, I realized that it's so much more to being in a relationship than just saying I love you, talking on the phone, texting, going to the movies. Like, it's so much more to a relationship. So I think that kind of made me realize what I wanted out of a relationship, what I expected out of a relationship. So I would say now, the biggest thing I say now, I think I asked you this question, Mom. Did you think that trust was more important in a relationship than love? Hi. Because I feel like without trust, I mean, you could love a person all day, but without the trust, you don't have anything.
Right.
So I feel like trust is like the main thing. I expect to have a partner that knows how to communicate what they want, what they need. I expect to have, of course, like love and somebody who cares, and I expect to have a partner who is willing to grow with me. Even when I'm like going through stages where it's not so pretty or it don't really look good. You know, somebody who's patient enough to grow with me and go through things with me, because that's what it's all about.
Right.
Because, and if you're with somebody, you're gonna, as time goes on, you're gonna be changing and evolving. So
hopefully.
So I expect to have somebody on my side that's willing to do the same thing. Like, what else? I have a long list of expectations. But yeah, that's just a few of them. That's just a few things that I expect. But I definitely realize now, like, it's so much more to a relationship than texting, talking on the phone, saying I love you. Like, it's so much more to it than that. So, that's my little spiel.
Okay. Well, so that's what you expect. What should you expect?
What should I expect?
You don't know what you should expect from a relationship?
I mean,
should you accept, like, just say you meet someone and they start doing things that you don't agree with. I'm talking about those, like, I won't even say red flag, because that's just like that's a signal. But I'm just talking about things that you aren't used to, things that you don't value. Or should you change people's values? Or what if you meet someone, you know, they say that opposites attract.
Right.
So what if...
Which I think that's true.
Yeah. So what if you meet someone and they are not as masculine, or they have more of a softer side? And I'm not speaking of being weak. I'm just saying they are more soft-spoken and not as, I mean, maybe what you would like as far as somebody, you know, big and, you know, gonna be this, like, and I'm just saying, like, football build, Barry White voice protector. What if that's not the case?
I feel like that's something that you would have to work out within yourself, because that's like, is that something that you're willing to deal with? Like,
to deal with? If that is...
Deal with that. If you're gonna be with me and my voice is high pitched, I mean, it'll be okay for now, but like later on down the line, is it just gonna be something that annoys you to like no end? So are you willing to deal with that? That's what I meant by that. Like,
okay.
So, I forgot what you was asking me, but
what should your expectations not? Okay, so we already heard what you expect, the things that you expect, but what should you expect? What are what are the things that you expect from somebody? You expect respect. You expect for somebody to respect your views and values,
right,
and your opinions about them. You expect somebody to listen to you. Those are things that you expect.
Yeah. So
all of those things.
Oh yeah. I expect all of those things. But like you. Oh, I remember what you were saying. Like, if a person is like soft spoken versus like being, you know, like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that goes back to what I was saying. Like, is that something that you're willing to deal with? Like, people have their own flaws,
right? And
so it's like, if you really rocking with a person, are you willing to accept those flaws?
Absolute. Okay.
So that's what it all boils down to. Like, but if it's something like a red flag, like if somebody show you that they're a liar, that's not something you should ask yourself. Like, well, am I willing to deal with it? That's a no-brainer right there.
I mean, you say it's a no-brainer, but somebody may say, well, it's just a little, you know, it's just a little like, hello, welcome.
Hi.
Welcome. Before I get into what I'm about to say, welcome to the Key and Kai Exchange. We are talking about expectations in a relationship. What do you expect, or what should you expect from a relationship? You got to accept flaws, because we all got them.
Definitely.
Listen, that is a major fact. No cap.
But like, you don't want to say, okay, so I'm glad you said that, because you don't want to. What if it's a flaw that it's like, you know, later on down the line
it's gonna cause a problem?
It's gonna be an issue.
Okay, so
would that be considered settling or lowering your standards? Or like, I don't know.
I mean, if it's a flaw, again, everybody has flaws. Everybody has things. Nobody is perfect. Nobody ever will be perfect.
Right.
So there are things that are flawed in everybody. We don't get things right every day. So again, that's something. Are you willing to work with that? Are you willing to communicate? Are you willing to compromise? These are when those things come into play, because you have to be able to communicate and compromise, because some things are, you know, learned behaviors. Some things are taught.
Right.
And those things can be, you know, redirected or changed over time as people grow. So you have to give people an opportunity to grow and get to the level that they're trying to get to. Tiffany, hi. You should expect a person to be who they've shown you they are. And that goes for all relationships, intimate, family, work, or friends. Are you and that person willing to grow? Yes. And Kai touched on that just a little bit. Is it Roddy?
Rodney.
Okay.
But that's anyway.
Okay, Rod. You bring it to your partner. Anything can be worked on if somebody loves and respects you enough. They'll think before it happens. Well, sometimes, and I do agree with Tiffany, who's on Facebook, who said, are you willing to grow? And like I said, are you willing to communicate and compromise? It takes, if that's something that you see, if you're with somebody and you're looking for someone to grow with, then hopefully that person is willing to grow and change.
Yeah.
And learn new things, learn a different way of thinking about how they're doing certain things that you may not agree with. So that is like the major key. Like you have to be, like Tiffany said, you have to be willing to grow. You have to be willing to evolve and compromise and work things out. Communication,
that is
before
key.
anything, that's key. Because you have to be able to communicate how you feel and those things that, bother you or you may not agree with. You have to be able to have good, what am I trying to say? Let's just well-rounded communication. I can't think of the word.
Basically, don't let nothing slide.
I mean, no, and especially not
if you
in the
feel some type of way, just speak on it, because eventually
it's gonna cause a problem down the line. And I strongly believe that if you don't address things in the beginning, if you see things, if you see certain behaviors in the beginning, then and you let those things slide, then they will definitely become a problem. And I'm gonna touch on that here in just a second. Tiffany said you shouldn't expect that people can read your mind. You have to show people how to respect your boundaries, and you have to have grace with each other. Absolutely. Hey, Shari.
Hey.
I do agree. So a healthy relationship involves honesty, trust, respect, open communication between partners, partnership, and they take effort and compromise from both people. There is no imbalance of power. Partners respect each other's independence. That's huge. And they can make their own decisions without fear of retribution or retaliation, and share decisions. And that is, hi.
Have you ever been in a situation where you felt like you had to like tiptoe around your partner?
Oh my goodness.
Not like sneak or be sneaky, but
right. But walk on eggshells.
Yeah, because you're not sure how they're gonna react to a certain. That is so.
I mean, it could be where you are like, just an example, like you're having a great day. Everything is going good. The sun is shining. You're like, this is gonna be a good day. In your mind, you have plans or things you're thinking about doing or things that you've already.
And here come the dark sky. The dark cloud.
Right.
Covering up the sun.
Because they woke up on the wrong side of the bed and now it's like killjoy. Like what? So even with that, are we looking for the social media version of what we think a relationship should look and feel like? So just a quick insert. We all have this list, right, of what we want in a partner, or what it should look like, or what we want it to look like. I shouldn't say what it should, but what we idealize in our minds of what we want in a relationship. So we have this long list. We want them, nope, okay. That's Shay. Hi, Shay. So we have this list. We want them tall, we want them short, we want them athletic, we want them toned up, we want them God-fearing, we want them, list goes on and on of all these things we want or desire in a relationship, right? So someone comes along and they are the complete opposite of what your list is. Do you keep the list and tell the person to take a hike? Or do you take a chance and, see where you can grow?
Keeping my list.
Keep the list? Are you kidding me?
No.
And that's what I was about to say, wait, because that's what I was about to say.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say real quick, I had a list of things but this was, again, an idea that I had in my mind of what I wanted my person, and I will just say my person, my soulmate, my partner, to be like. And I gathered these things, some of these things from my own thought, and some of these things from what I saw on social media and what I saw with personal couples that I know. I pulled things from everywhere, and that's what we do. We will, we think about things, we put things in our mind. Be careful what you ask for. Better yet, be prepared for what you are asking for.
Yeah.
Man, yes. And that right there that's perfect, Shay, because I was looking at, again, couples that I know personally that I admire to this day. And then social media, looking at couples on social media, and I was saying, ooh, that's how I want my relationship to be. Ooh, I want that. Or that's how I want my husband I want him to do that. Now, this is what I'm seeing. I don't know what's going on behind closed doors on either side, personally or, on social media. And so, again, I had to kind of take a step back and say, I have to be careful, because I'm saying that's what I want. Oh, that looks good. Oh, that sounds good. Mm-hmm. And you absolutely have to be careful, because the things that you manifest, the things that you say, you really have to be careful with what you ask for. Yes, wait for God, absolutely. Tiff said the list should consist of things of substance and principles.
I agree with that. I feel like it's all about what you put on your list. If you have like the stuff that you want, and then you come across a person that they don't meet all of those standards, then I feel like you will be finding yourself like, well, they don't meet this standard, so I'm gonna cross this off my list. They don't meet this standard, so I'm gonna cross this off my list.
No.
Versus having like you said, like substance and principles on there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like the trivial things. Like, maybe the person is not as tall. Maybe the person does not have a muscular build. What if they're working on that? Right. What if they had an accident? Hi. What if they had an accident and they could not, they had to take some time off? That like me, Right. I've had to take a couple months off of my workout regimen, like 6 days a week, because my back is messed up. But I'm talking about like the trivial things that I mean, you know, you can kind of work around that. I'm not talking about things like, and when we say substance, you know, God-fearing, you want somebody that's family oriented. Those are things that are important. Those are core things, core values that you have that, you know, you would like in a partner.
Right.
So no, definitely I wouldn't say cross those things off. I'm talking about all the, like, the little things that we see that we, you know, put on there, like I said, height and weight and all of that.
Yeah.
It may not be the person.
That's what I was saying. I'm sorry.
No, that's good. But the person that, you know, you may connect with may not be who you thought this ideal person. And so again, that's why I said, do you get rid of the list or get rid of the person, because they are not what you thought in your mind that they should be.
Right. And that's what I was saying. That's why it's important to have that type of stuff, the substance and principles on your list. Yeah. So that way you not crossing out, oh well, he's not this height, or he doesn't look like this, or he doesn't do this. And if you have the principles and substance on there, then you don't even find yourself doing that. If that makes sense.
You don't cross off the things on your list. You're not going to get a perfect person, because we all have flaws. But are you willing to deal with the flaws? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we said that a few minutes ago. We talked about, you know, everybody has flaws. Everybody is growing. Everybody is not on the same level. So again, we're talking about relationship expectations. And what should you expect from a relationship? I noted that it is important to make God the center, and your relationship is what you make it. What does that look like for you? And then sometimes as individuals, we put unrealistic expectations on people. Yes, very true. Example, wanting someone to change something about themselves. And I was just talking about that. Welcome.
Hey.
I was just talking about that a few minutes ago. You know, as far as someone's values or the way they view things, you know, those are something, that's an unrealistic expectation, is to change someone else's values. If their values don't match up, if they are doing things or, you know, that you don't agree with, and especially if it's harmful to your relationship with God, or, you know, if it's harmful to you as a person, if the things that they believe is gonna cause a problem, then those are things you can't work out. But this is where, and then we also talked about, when I said such as unrealistic expectations, such as values or how masculine or feminine they are. You know, and again, I was just saying to Kai, you know, if a guy, you know, he may be a little more sensitive, or he may not have the Barry White voice or the quarterback build, you know, big cocky guy. Right. Yeah, absolutely. If their values are harmful in any way, you don't want to engage in that. But do you try to change? I mean, and that's big. Like, you can't change people. I mean, you know, hopefully we all know that. Although, you know, excuse me, we will try in subtle ways too. You know, we will try to push things on people, or what our beliefs are. You know, everybody doesn't have the same beliefs or the same values. But do you just do away with it altogether? I mean, because everybody is different. Everybody has differences, and that's what makes us unique individuals, is because we are all different. You know, do we toss somebody aside because they chew with their mouth open? I mean, they was doing that before, you know. They was chewing with their mouth open before. Is that something we can kind of compromise or talk about? Like, would you mind not chewing with your... There's appropriate ways to communicate. And
it's all about the approach too, especially when you communicate what you want, or if you notice something about a person and it's not even that you trying to change them, but communicating what you like and what you don't like. It's about your approach and what you say, because if this is somebody that you're looking at having a future with or something like that, you don't want to say stuff that will break them down or make them feel less than because of a characteristic that they have.
Yeah.
So
yep, and I mean, like I said, we are all growing and learning daily. It doesn't mean that you're a welcome mat. It doesn't mean that you're a pushover or you allow somebody to dim your light. And definitely do not dismiss red flags. Like, and I just saw a post, like, y'all stop accepting these red flags. Like, seriously, if you see something or somebody, this is an expectation. It's, the communication, allowing a person to be an individual. If you are at a gathering or whatever. Hi, Aisha.
hey,
Welcome. If you're at a gathering with your significant other and you are bubbly and you hug everybody and all of that, and they're looking at you sideways and, well, why you hugging him, or why you hugging her? Well, why are you in their face? Or what was that all about? Insecurity and all of that type of thing. That's something that you cannot dismiss stuff like that's going to be a problem. And especially if you are, again, bubbly and a friendly person. If you know a lot of people and they can't handle that, those are those red flags you can't dismiss. If again, if you're in a situation and this person might come grab your arm or pull you away from, and you like, wait a minute,
like
that's a red flag.
So you really gonna hug?
Right.
So you really...
Man, if you don't get out of here with that,
like, are you serious?
Richard, hi baby. Hey Tay.
Hey. So
yeah, you cannot.
I wish somebody would come grab my arm.
Yeah, trying to pull you away. But again, you have to, like you said, girl, this one. You have to communicate what you expect in the beginning. You have to have a conversation about the things. Yes, absolutely. You have to have conversations about the things that you expect. Real conversations, like in the beginning stages of dating. And we don't do that. I just learned that, and I heard this popular, familiar pastor say, you have to ask questions. Yeah. You have to ask important questions in the beginning of dating or courting or whatever you want to call it. And he said, how do you handle anger? Like, do you throw things? Do you punch a wall? Do you run? Are you a flight risk? Or, do you communicate? Do you have conversations and talk it out? How do you handle sadness? Are you a crier? Do you like to be alone when you're sad? Do you hide? Do you retreat and don't want to talk to anybody or communicate? These are things that absolutely, it's an interview like a job for sure. Yes, and Shay said that's trust issues as well. And those are things, that's all at the top of the list of things that we expect. We expect trust. We expect honesty. And it all ties in, where I am with, you have to communicate and ask questions. You have to know these things in the beginning. And again, this is something that I have learned. Not just, what do you like to do, or no, when this pastor said, how How do you handle anger, sadness, happiness? How do you handle exciting news?
Right.
You know, how do you handle emergencies? And, you know, when I was writing my notes, I was just kind of thinking about myself in an emergency. And I have seen, I made a post the other night on Facebook. Welcome if you are just joining us. This is the Key and Kai Exchange.
Hey,
and we are talking about relationships, what you should expect, or what do you expect, and what should you expect. But I made a post on Facebook, and I was talking about a couple days ago we had this snowstorm. I didn't even want to say that out loud. But anyway, there was a lot of ice out there. So because I am in Texas, a lot of people don't know how to handle the ice. So my brother was stuck in his truck, and anyway, I was going to help him. There was probably about 8 people that was stuck out there. So I was helping people and just kind of saying, you know, hey, you need to stop putting your foot on the gas. Just hold on. You need to rock your car. And look, this one guy, I said, you just have to rock your car back and forth. He was in the car rocking back and forth. And I'm like, no, dude, you have to drive reverse. Anyway, in this big F-250 and this Camaro, both of these females that were in the passenger side, they get out trying to assist. And they're trying to put the car mats under the tires and, you know, just help, you know. And I'm saying, all of these people, they revving up their, you know, their engines, their tires, just spinning. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm, you know, screaming, hey, you need to get back. Watch out, baby. You don't need to be in the way. And I'm like, if either one of these cars move, you can be pinned between the car, you can be drugged up under the tire. You need to be careful. Kyra, she like, I'm out. I can't watch. I could not bear to watch what may happen next. So again, and I'm talking about how do you react in an emergency? You know, and people react, and I wanted to share that because in that moment, Kai was like, oh, I can't do it. Me, I just kind of turned around like, you know, ooh, you know, this is not going to be good. And it was just because they didn't know. That was sidebar, but, you know, and I was saying, you know, how do you, you know, in having a conversation when dating, like, how do you act in an emergency? You know, maybe, are you like Kai? Do you, oh, I can't do this. That's no, right. Or, you know, do you feel like I need to jump right in and help? I'm not that type of person in an emergency. That's something you need to know, because we could be, you know, on a date side by side or out at an outing and something happens. And I'm
trying to mind my business.
Look.
And you trying to help.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Exactly. and then later on, there's going to be some type of discussion like, what happened? Why didn't you help? You know, why were you just sitting there? That's me. I will completely freeze because I'm like, oh my, what is going on right now? So yeah, that's something that definitely should be discussed. Tiff said, yes, asking the questions and being alert enough to see the actions that support or refute their verbal answers. Shane, what's going on? Yeah, so absolutely. I think that the questions are very, very important in the beginning. You know, how do you keep a house? Are you a good housekeeper? Do you have OCD? Are you messy? These are important things because these are things that can be worked on. These are things that can be communicated. You know, and these are some of the things that we're talking about. Things that you expect. You know, you expect that a person, you know, has the same values. You expect that a person, you know, just will do the right thing. And that may not and when I say do the right thing, maybe I should have said that differently. You expect that people will do things the way you do them, and that may not always be the case. You know, they may not wash dishes like you do. You know, you don't like dishes left in the sink at the end of the night, and they may say, oh, it's okay to leave them until the morning. Well, eventually that's going to be a problem if you don't communicate. So you definitely have to communicate what you expect, and then, you know, things that you should expect. So the questions are definitely important. Welcome if you have just joined us. We're talking about expectations in a relationship. What do you expect from a relationship? What should you expect? What should you expect from a relationship? Should you expect someone to be whatever the idea is in your mind? Should you set your expectations that high to think that somebody is going to be exactly the way you thought it up in your mind? Hi. Yeah, so what do you expect? What should you expect? I'm asking a question. What should you expect? Some of the things, you know, we said you should expect trust and honesty, communication. You expect that somebody will respect your independence. You expect that somebody will treat you with kindness and compassion. Those are things that you expect. But what do you expect? Because a lot of times, and that is huge, like, oh, okay. Well, welcome. Welcome back.
Welcome to Facebook.
Welcome to
I don't know
Facebook.
what's going on Instagram.
Yeah, so like that's what we were asking, like what should you expect?
Hi.
Welcome if you have just joined us. Welcome to the Key and Kai Exchange. We're talking about relationships. What do you expect? You. Mother, welcome. On the flip side, you should expect mistakes, yes, and mess ups, because humans are naturally flawed.
Yeah, but how many times do you accept a mess up?
Because it's, again,
before it becomes settling.
No, it's, again, we are all flawed. And we said,
so you just keep, a person just keep messing up, and you just say, well, you know what?
Well, no, after a while, that's why we talked about growth. A person has to be willing to grow. And once you communicate, you know, mistakes and mess ups is, oh, I spilled, I bumped, whatever the, oh,
hey,
that's all right. Hi, Shalonda. But, I mean, that's just something that you have to work on. That's something that you have to communicate. And everybody has flaws and mistakes. And you're saying how many mistakes or how many mess ups before is settling. And it's, no, you have standards and you know what you will tolerate. But mistakes is something that's done unintentionally. When you're settling, somebody is, at that point, they're doing something intentionally and saying, oops, my fault. Oops, no. I'm not going to keep bumping you like, oops, my fault. Oops, my fault. Eventually, you're going to say, you know, either you're going to, yeah, you're either going to say something or you're going to allow me to keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Right.
But if you say, I don't like when you bump me like that, it bothers me, and then it hurts a little bit. When you communicate that, then you get an understanding. Princess said, everyone has a breaking point, but you have to be realistic also. Are you meeting the other person's bar of expectations? Yeah. That as well. And that's what we're talking about. Like, there has to be a common ground. And you have to, again, be willing to work through and communicate. You have to be realistic and aware of what's going on. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
And I mean, that's what I was saying, as far as being realistic, we talked about the list, like the list of things, that we desire, or, when you were younger, you had this list. Oh, I want, this person tall, short, fat, skinny, athletic, whatever the case may be. Those type of things. But what about the communication, the trust, the honesty, and just being there, growth, somebody that's willing to grow, somebody that's willing to learn and is open to new adventures and new things like that. If you like to travel, those type of things, what type of things are you willing to compromise? And I have, been in relationships,
Yeah.
Not a marriage. Yes, absolutely, Princess. You have to be willing to grow together. And I think that is huge. If somebody is willing to grow, or they, they're expressing, or they just didn't come from the same background. Like, and I was just saying that we're all unique individuals. We are all different. We all have things that people don't like. Somebody may not like the way I wear my hair. Somebody may not like that I wear, different color polish, or that's wild. That's, whatever the case may be. But those things can be compromised. And that's not really, something. That person is only going to do what you allow them to do until you speak up. Absolutely. And especially if they're doing something, nitpicking, or, if they starting off nitpicking, then
cut them off.
Period.
They gotta go.
Yeah. Because that's not, that picking and, just starting arguments for no reason, or, and there are situations where, you say, in this circumstance, or they may be going through something and they don't know why they're doing what they're doing. But once you communicate and you have this understanding and say, when you do that, when you say this, it bothers me, it affects me in this way, and you get this communication, and you're not expecting them just to be Mr. or Mrs. Perfect, because nobody is perfect. Everybody has flaws. Everybody comes from a different background. You're not going to get with somebody that thinks exactly the way you think.
Yeah.
But you have to be willing to be open and have open communication, and talk things out and be honest about your feelings and theirs as well. So again, you can't set the bar so high that it closes people off.
Right.
Because nobody is perfect.
Hey.
Hi. We all have to be willing to grow and be open to evolving and helping one another grow. You have to, that is my desire, is to have a partnership. And for those of you all that are watching, I did post yesterday that I love my husband. I do. Nobody said anything. I'm just joking, y'all. Sometimes a person will have to unlearn certain behaviors, and that takes time. Yes, I'm going to read that again. Sometimes a person will have to unlearn certain behaviors, and that takes time. And you will have to sit back and evaluate things and ask yourself, is it really worth any of your energy?
And that's the battle. Like,
what is the battle?
What?
You said that's a battle.
Yeah, if it's worth your energy, like, again, going back to what I was saying, are you willing to, wait for a person to unlearn the behaviors that that they, you know.
I mean, and again, if you are open to growing, if that is something that you desire for yourself is to grow, I mean, that's just like things you're working on. If you...
Yeah, and I would want somebody to be patient with me.
Right.
So that's what I was saying. Like, that's the thing. Like, I would want somebody to be patient with me, but then it's like, when it comes to somebody, well, I can't say that because I'm willing to be patient with a person too, but it's just like, I guess depending on what characteristics they possess that they need to unlearn, would I be willing to stick with them while they go through that process of change?
Yeah, like Princess said, it takes time because some things, you know, some people have to unlearn certain behaviors.
Right.
And again, everybody is not raised in the same household, so things were taught differently. Love, yes, give and giving. Love was not given to them the same way it was given to you. Right. Maybe they weren't nurtured. Maybe they were abused. Maybe they're at a different place where, you know, they're ready to get in a relationship or whatever the case may be. You know, this is something that, and you may not know their full story, but if y'all, you know, have this connection and y'all start dating and then things start happening and all this type of thing, and they have these characteristics that you don't necessarily agree with, again, this is when you communicate and you say, okay, well, this is something we need to talk about because I don't agree. You know, that's not the way I was raised. Right. But you don't try to project your values or you don't try to throw that on somebody else, and you don't try to change somebody because that's not the way they are. Right. You know, and some behaviors are learned behaviors. And again, they may have come from a different background, but when, you know, you could be the person who plants seeds, right, and will help them grow. You will catapult them to the next level. So, you know, you have to think about that. And even with yourself, you want somebody that's going to help you grow. You want somebody that's going to plant seeds in your life, right, and help you to get to the next place. So we have to be mindful to be patient with people and, you know, really know people's story and all this. Don't expect, you know, just don't expect too much, you know. And I'm not going to say I'm not saying lower your standards for anybody at all. But again, maybe you can plant seeds and help them grow, you know, and, you know, do things there. Teach and show, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And that's where you have to be patient. Again, I want to welcome and thank you all. Be realistic in your expectations. Yes, that is the bottom line. You have to be realistic in your expectations. I was about to say we have 5 minutes left, and I don't want to, you know, hold everybody long. I want to thank everybody for joining.
Thanks, guys.
In on this conversation.
This was
really,
a good one.
Yes, really good information. Things that, you know, we can keep and take with us. This will be posted on our YouTube page, The Key and Kai Exchange. If you have not gone over to YouTube to subscribe to our channel, please do so, The Key and Kai Exchange. Make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you like it. Make sure you share it. Subscribe and push the notification bell so that you know when we upload videos, which we do weekly after our live videos. Yes, we are here on Mondays and Fridays, 5 p.m. Central Standard, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard. Please join us. Today is Monday. We will be back again on Friday. Quick note before we do our advertisement for this small business and our Black History Who's Who. Tiffany said everybody isn't your Every battle isn't your assignment from God. Absolutely. I think you have to be in touch with who you are and what your non-negotiable areas are, and be in touch with what God's will is for your life. And know your vision, and take your time before committing to pursue an intimate relationship with someone. Absolutely. Thank you, Shay. Princess said, I'm about to go punch my husband and say unlearned.
That's what I was laughing at.
Mother, you bet not punch him. But anyway, thank you all for joining. Before I get off, I guess I'll say that again in a second. The job, Lord, y'all help me. The small business that I am advertising today is Zaya's Creative Printing.
Go check
you
it out,
can
guys.
check her out on Facebook, Miss Ashley. Check her out on Facebook or Instagram at Zaya. That's XYIA. Zaya's Creative Printing for all your personalized needs. And she is pretty bomb, y'all. She does shirts, she does pants, she does cups, mugs. I've seen her do aprons. She does gift baskets.
Good work,
and
guys.
any personalized items. Again, it's Zaya's Creative Printing, and that's XYIA on Facebook and Instagram. Please check her out. Like her page. Once you go on there, you'll be able to see all the creative things she has made, all the personalized items. And that's it. Zaya's Creative Printing on Facebook and Instagram. And don't forget, y'all, about Puddin's Pieces. On Friday, I will have, we will do a shorter live so that okay, absolutely. We will do a shorter live so that I can show you all some of the things. I will be able to show you all on live some of the things that I have made, some of the customized things that I've made, and the shirts that are on sale. I have some shirts that I need to get rid of because I have some new designs. Hey, for Puddin's Pieces. Y'all check Puddin's Pieces out on Facebook.
You're gonna love it. I promise.
It's some like pretty cute stuff. And then I have some more things that I'm working on, some more projects. So go check me out on Facebook at Puddin Pieces. And if you have any ideas or something that you want me to make or customize, let me know. Just hit me up in my inbox. Either way, Instagram or Facebook. And last but not least, we want to do our who's who in Black history. So we have James McCune Smith was the first African American doctor. I didn't even know. James McCune Smith was the first African American to hold a medical degree and the first African American to run a pharmacy. Because no American university was willing to admit him, he was forced to travel to Scotland to earn his degree from the University of Glasgow. After graduating in 1837, he practiced medicine for nearly 2 decades at the Colored Orphan Asylum in Manhattan. Contributed papers to scholarly journals and was widely respected as an intellectual. He was an abolitionist who helped enslaved people escape and find their way to freedom via the Underground Railroad. Despite his accomplishments, Smith was never admitted to into the American Medical Association. This is why desegregation didn't put an end to racism in America. Again, James McCune Smith was the first African American doctor. Something I just learned. And so I will be bringing you all a who's who on every live so that we can become more familiar with some of the people that we don't hear about.
Yeah.
Again, thank you all for joining us this evening on the Key and Kai Exchange. Thank you for spending time with us. Thank you for engaging in the conversation. All your input, information, we greatly appreciate it so much. Be sure to check out Puddin's Pieces on Facebook for all of your customized needs. Be sure to check out Zaya's Creative Printing on Facebook and Instagram. And check us out on YouTube, the Key and Kai Exchange.
Like, share,
comment, subscribe, and push the notification bell so that you know when we are uploading our live videos. You all please tell somebody else about it. We're trying to get our views up on YouTube so that can be our main live so we can engage with you all on there and get more traffic over there. So please share, subscribe, comment if you already have not. Again, we appreciate you all, and we will see you all right back here on Friday. Have a great week. Love y'all. Until next time, peace out.